Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. Shaka's here, as is Stevie. Frank is having some audio issues and in a bit of a bad mood. So let's try and get through this without him getting stroppy. Does Liverpool's recent defeat by Aston Villa put any new doubts in Stevie's mind going into the Merseyside derby? Or will the outcome be the same? That, of course, the first match after the international break.
Absolutely. Yeah, listen, regardless of who the next opposition was going to be, I'm questioning the back line. The fact that it is Everton, the fact that it is Hamas, and the fact that if Liverpool decide to keep playing this ridiculous high line, if there's one man can stick the ball in behind with accuracy, it's Hamas. So yes, absolutely, it's going on in my head.
Oh, what else is going on in your head, Stevie?
Oh, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of stuff you don't want to know
about. With the panel filled with great defenders and a world-class goalkeeper, wow, Shaka, do they think that the
I didn't know you played in goals, Dan.
Do they think that the high line of defence that is played at Liverpool, City, Munich is being exploited because the manager and the defence have not had a chance to work together due to a lack of pre-season? What do you think, Shaka?
No, these teams have been playing this way for quite some time. So you feel that nobody's had whole. Well, City have had changes at the back, but certainly between Liverpool and Bayern Munich, not wholesale changes. So it shouldn't be as big a problem as it's been so far for those clubs. I mean, the thing is, when you play this high line, you have to get pressure on the ball. You can't play a high line without any kind of pressure on the ball. And I just feel as a team, that's where those teams are coming unstuck. And I can't explain that, again, given how long they've done it, given the fact that there have been some changes, but not wholesale changes.
Frank, what do you think? A lack of pre-season, is that why we're seeing these top teams not defending as well?
No, I don't think so, because they've been working and they didn't change too much their defense, except maybe one or two players. Now it's just maybe finding between the lines the composure and the understanding. I think if you play with the high line, you have to make sure that the lines before you, the midfielders and the forwards, are working also together, making sure that you are not going too high on the field where the opponent has the time to throw a ball behind you. So it's not only the four defenders and the goalkeeper who can also cover, it's the whole team who have to work together to make sure that the explanation and the solution will be found.
Shaka, could Emiliano Martinez become the quality goalkeeper that Argentina have been lacking to represent the national team for a long time?
Absolutely could be. I like Emiliano Martinez a whole lot, and he'll be getting more consistent playing time now at Villa. They've started the season really well. I like everything. I like everything that he brings to Argentina's setup right now, because as per the question, yes, between Romero, Willy Caballero, they have had goalkeepers who have been number twos at their respective clubs, and as a result, haven't really come in the best of form as you would hope. I think they can find that in Martinez.
Frank, if it's true that it was Dembele himself who pulled the plug on the Manchester United move, did he make the right decision to stay and fight for a position in an attack-heavy Barcelona side?
I don't know if it's him who didn't decide to come to Manchester United. I think he has one concern right now, Dembele, is to make sure that he can go back in the right fitness and can play some games. So it's true, going to Barcelona, staying in Barcelona and facing the competition will not be an easy way for Dembele. Now, that's the problem with Manchester United, and I can even put Arsenal in it. And it drives me crazy that those two fantastic clubs, where nobody would have refused to come before, show many top players, and I'm not only talking about Dembele, because Dembele is not for me a top player because he doesn't play because he's injured, but we don't see any top player willing to come to Manchester United and the Gunners. That drives me crazy. So what happened to those clubs? What happened to those boards who didn't buy the right players to make sure that that club will go down at the point that good player, very good player, on top of it, don't want to come to those clubs anymore? That's the main problem. Nobody would have refused Manchester United in our time. Nobody would have refused to go to the Gunners as well. That's the main problem and the main concern for the future of Manchester United and Arsenal.
Have any of the guys ever shared a dressing room with a player that they felt was not good enough to be playing for their team? If so, which club were you at and who was the player?
Oh my God.
You must have all been...
I have one.
Yeah, go on, Frank.
I have one, and I'm sorry, he was playing for Chelsea. He came to Chelsea, didn't stay long.
Craig Burley.
And I won't name him because I have too... No. And I have too much respect for professional players, so I don't want to say. But I know that Denis Suarez was always saying after every training session, did we keep the coupon? Did we keep the coupon? To sell him back. But I won't say the name.
Stevie, it must have been very difficult for new players coming into that Liverpool side, given its strength and given the quality and success. You must have been judging straight away and knew if they were good enough or not pretty quickly.
To be honest, anybody that was brought in had obviously some ability.
Right.
I think when you go into a club at Liverpool, through a 20-year spell where they're European champions or they're English champions, they're FA Cup champions, it's about being able to go into that dressing room and into that sort of culture and become part of it and feel comfortable. That's as big a problem walking into a team that are so good as much as anything else. It's not just about ability, it's about, the mental strength to understand that you are good enough and you do fit in and do all the right things to fit in. So it's not always down to ability, Dan.
Did you see players shrink when they came to Liverpool after doing well at lesser clubs?
Yeah, I saw a couple of players shrink pretty quickly. It's really not nice to see, and it's actually quite obvious because the majority of people there, kind of know they belong and feel as though they belong. And so when you've got a player or two every now and again who clearly just can't fit in, it's actually painful to watch. And everybody would do everything they could to help. It wasn't a case of just somebody getting shunned or anything like that. Everybody would do everything to help, but it became clear pretty quickly, usually, if somebody just wasn't going to be able to fit in.
Shaka?
I can't think of any, or let me say the only names that I can think of are young players who were brought in quite clearly just to be squad players.
So does that make it you, Shaka, if you can't think of players? You're the only one who didn't notice.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it was. But the question, in all seriousness, the young players are brought in to be squad players, and you knew that they weren't going to be around for long.
Right.
You knew that they weren't going to get into the team. They were going to play in cup competitions and just add some depth to the squad. So you didn't see them as being as shrinking as Stevie put it. You just knew that's why they were there, and they'd be gone soon enough. And as soon as they were gone, somebody else would come in and take their place, and they'd be out the door quickly enough too. It was part of the game, especially back then where transfers kind of were a big part of clubs' revenue drivers.
Shaka, is a Europa League title enough for Jose Mourinho to have a successful season?
Jose will tell you that. Jose will tell you, given where he took over this team, that they were 14th, that if they win the Europa League, look how far we've come, and this is the biggest accomplishment in club football. Right now I think Spurs are trying to force their way back into that top four. They've made really good signings this summer in doing that. I think they're in a great position to achieve that. If after signing Gareth Bale and Reguilon and all that this season, we are sitting here this time next year and only talking about Spurs as finishing 5th and winning the Europa League. That's not going to be good enough.
Frank, who's more likely to finish in the top 4? Manchester United, Tottenham or Arsenal?
Maybe none. If Everton carries on like that, with Manchester City, Liverpool, and I really hope Chelsea, none of them. But I think with what we saw, I don't see Manchester United. If they don't react, if they don't change things, if they don't buy, they cannot buy any more defenders. It's going to be between Tottenham and Arsenal. Let's say Tottenham. What I saw, couple of last games, I will put them in the top 4.
Stevie?
Oh, that's tough. Because there's not that much separates them, to be honest. You know, we're only 4 games in, and before a ball was kicked, we pretty much all had Man United either 4th or 5th, and that meant Tottenham and Arsenal probably were on the outside. I mean, it's only 4 games in, and I guess if you've got to go on present form and how things are looking, I can't see that much change coming very quickly at United, so that knocks them out. Spurs, on the other hand, I mean, we're good in this game. And Arsenal, I guess, I've got a new strength about them. I don't know, Dan. I'm finding it difficult. I would say it's maybe between
Stevie, I have a question,
Arsenal
Stevie,
between Arsenal and Spurs.
Stevie, if you decide to put one of them, Arsenal and Spurs, in the fourth place, who do you put out? Chelsea, Everton?
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, United. No, United.
No,
that's what I'm saying. If you go on who can take a step forward from here, then it's not United, because they look as though they're going the wrong way, and you can't see where that next step's coming. Arsenal have just signed Partey, who's a beast in the middle of the park, and who have found a strength that wasn't there before Arteta. And of course, Spurs have made good signings, so they're stronger. So it seems like Man United right now are the team that would be outside of that. And so you'd have to pick from Arsenal and Spurs, and I can't pick one or the other, you know.
Are they better than Chelsea and Everton?
I'll go with Spurs.
Stevie? That's what Frank was asking.
Oh, sorry, no. Not Chelsea. They're not better than Chelsea. Again, right. Everton's too early.
Right.
Everton have been impressive, but it's 4 games, you know, and that's all it is.
Final point, thoughts on Ukraine being forced to include a 45-year-old retired goalkeeper in their squad after 3 other keepers tested positive for corona. Shaka, would you ever come out of retirement if Trinidad and Tobago needed you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shaka.
I am available. I am ready.
Oh, what a beautiful moment that.
Hey, only if it, hey Dan, only if it was a home game.
Yes. That is it, boys. Thank you very much. Look, Frank's almost smiling by the end of it. Moody he's been today. Goodness me. We'll be back tomorrow.
I'm always in a good mood. Always.
See, look, that doesn't look like a man who's in a good mood. Angry face, forced smile. That's it. We are done. We'll be back tomorrow for more. Until then, goodbye. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.